All right, now it's time for the long-awaited Top 10. This episode is sponsored by the Second String Leather Company. Second String Leather Company makes fine leather goods out of used goalie equipment. They have some awesome goods, so check them out at secondstringleather.com. Top 10, let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Rinks Around the League. I'm your host, Jeff Nash, and this is the long, muchly anticipated episode where I'm going to reveal my top 10 rinks around the league. Just as a small disclaimer, this is based on my experiences visiting all 31 NHL rinks around the league. It's not based on anyone else's opinion or some secret scientific formula. It's just based on my own personal opinion when I went into these rinks. And I thought, let's have some fun with it. I figured, what better way to reveal my top 10 list than to have the gold card a la Bill Daly when he announces the draft lottery picks. So, let's get on with it. At number 10, I have TD Garden. Now, there's a lot of things that I love about this rink. Some of them have changed recently, which I don't love, but when I went and visited, I was in love with the yellow seats that really made that rink stand out. Inside that building, you just kind of got the sense that you're in an original six barn. Even though it's not the old Boston Garden, it still had some pretty good character to it. I really liked how they jam-packed as much as they could in that small footprint, and the new district looks absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to get back there to experience it firsthand. But they have one of the most iconic goal horns, they have a great in-game presentation, and of course, Boston has a great team on the ice. Mix that in with a rowdy Boston fan base, it makes for a pretty awesome experience. Coming in at number 9, Xcel Energy Center in Minnesota. This rink, like I said in my video, is one of the best branded rinks in the entire league. They really embrace that Minnesota Wild theme around the main concourse, the foghorn, the lighthouse, and you just get this overwhelming sense that you're really in a barn built for hockey. Minnesota has a rich hockey history, and you can feel it when you go into that rink. I also love how they got fans to bring in water to be part of the ice surface. I think it's a really cool touch. I've seen some other teams trying to emulate that, but let's face it, it really makes sense in the state of Minnesota. All right, at number 8, my home city, Rogers Place, home of the Oilers. Now, moving from Xcel to Rogers was an exhilarating experience, the experience of a lifetime. And despite some things that I feel are missing inside that building, it's a beautiful building. You walk around the outside, it's absolutely stunning. It's definitely one of a kind, centrally located in downtown Edmonton. The surrounding ice district will only enhance this experience when you go to a game there. Here's hoping McDavid brings home the glory and returns the cup back to Edmonton. All right, number 7. PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh. Now, there are a lot of similarities between Rogers Place and PPG. In fact, there were some elements that were taken from PPG and installed inside Rogers Place. The building itself has a very familiar design to it. What sets PPG Paints ahead of Rogers Place is that their main concourse has a lot more unique food and beverage options, as well as a great team store and a family zone. It just seems like that building was well thought out from top to bottom. Combine that with the city of Pittsburgh, one of the best sports cities in North America. It's an amazing experience. Highly recommended. All right, at number 6, the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Now, like I said in my video, everything is bigger in Texas, and American Airlines Center is no different. It's an amazing rink. Now, because of its size, the inside does feel a little bit spacey and a little bit empty. However, the in-game presentation is really good, and they involve a lot of things that you just assume would come with Dallas, Texas. The Dallas Ice Girls, the food and bev options, the just sheer size of the building. It's a really cool experience. The side of the building is built out of this gorgeous brickwork, and they have a really cool district right out the front doors of American Airlines Center. And Texas fans are loud and proud. It makes for a pretty cool in-game experience. All right, now we're heading to the top 5 territory. Number 5 on my top 10 is Amalie Arena in Tampa. Now, there is a lot to like about Amalie Arena. From the Tesla coils to the oversized, gigantic Tampa Bay organ to their amazing in-game presentation that utilizes that gigantic scoreboard to really bring in that thunder theme to the arena. The rooftop patios and open air beer gardens allow you to really soak in that Florida sunshine. If you're from Canada like me, it's a great escape to watch hockey in a place that you can go to a game wearing shorts and sandals. All right, coming in at number 4, the United Center in Chicago. If you're looking for a great experience at an NHL game, make sure you head to United Center. For me, the anthem at the beginning of the game just sets your night off for success. The Chicago Blackhawks have been one of the most successful franchises in the NHL in the last decade or so. So you know that when you go to a game in Chicago, not only are you in for a great treat in terms of fan experience, but the game is also probably going to be awesome. Combine that with the history of the Chicago Blackhawks, the banners in the roof, that brand spanking new kinetic scoreboard, it's a can't miss if you're a hockey fan. All right, here we go. Number 3 is the Bell Center in Montreal. In my episode last season, I described the Bell Center as close to a shrine to hockey as you can get. The rich culture of the city itself just bleeds inside the walls of the Bell Center. And despite my criticism of the outside not looking so great, inside is an experience unparalleled in the league. The bowl is really simple, but that's one of the things I like about it. Up in the rafters, you have all those Stanley Cup championship banners, as well as all the retirees. Some of the biggest names in hockey live in those rafters. Combine that with the organ and the fact that it's in Montreal, it's an amazing experience. Definitely, if you haven't been there, make sure it's on your bucket list of places to go. Number 2. Number 2 and 1 are pretty close, but I think I got it. Number 2 is Madison Square Garden in New York. Now, this was really close to being on my number 1. I love MSG, everything about it. Now, I never experienced MSG before the renovations, but after the renovations, when you go in that building, you just get this overwhelming sense of history. From the sporting events that took place in there, to the Rangers franchise, to the overall history of the MSG buildings throughout the decades in New York. It's where Wayne Gretzky played his last game ever, and Mark Messier ended the curse by winning a Stanley Cup on that ice. I love the iconic roof. The scoreboard is awesome. The press boxes are probably the best in the league. And again, when the game is over and you walk out the front doors, you're in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. It's an awesome experience, and I absolutely love Madison Square Garden in New York. All right, if MSG was my number 2, what could possibly be number 1? And the number 1 rink around the league is Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. Now, even though they've had attendance issues the last few years, so bad that they've actually had to change the colors of the seats from red to black to kind of hide the numbers, Little Caesars Arena is the best rink in the league today. From the roof that lights up, from the retractable championship banners, from the Hall of Fame statues, to the modern food and bev options, to the press box and fan gondolas up on the roof, to the main concourse that makes you feel like you're in a shopping mall, not a hockey arena, to their amazing team store, and their attention to detail on every single level, from floor to roof. This rink is tops in the league. All right, that's it. That's my top 10 list of rinks around the league. Tell me what your thoughts are on my top 10. Did I miss any? I'm sure that some fans are going to let me know that I missed some on this list. But again, this is my personal take, and from my experiences in going to these rinks, this is my top 10. All right, well, that does it for this episode. Please feel free and follow me along on social, on Twitter and Instagram at _theRinks. Head over to YouTube, subscribe, ring that bell, because I've got a lot more coming down the pipe. Thanks for watching.